Test.
Looks like you're coming through now. We should be good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That was very weird. I don't know what that was
So
about.
anyway, uh, so
Yes.
uh, our bassist, Tyler, he did the guitar solos on Ruler's Lament, and Backyards ended up like double and triple booking himself everywhere he went for a while. So I just took over the vocals, but I asked him to do the vocals on um, Fortune Favors the Bold.
Yes. Bun just says
And our
Backyard Spaceman is too talented for his own good. Hello, Rise. Welcome in to me interviewing sheep.
what's it called? And our drummer is insanely talented, and he did drums and he produced the entire album.
Yeah.
Like that's all like his equipment, and him, all of the audio editing is him.
The layering, the playing with the directional audio, all of that was absolutely phenomenal, and I'm a sucker for that. So it just adds to the fact that I already enjoyed the music.
Well, I'm very glad.
Yeah. No.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's nice
Honestly,
to hear.
it was a fun album. Like, I enjoyed listening to it. I mean, I was listening to the first half of the album on my starting soon screen today. So
Oh, man.
we were on Primal, a love story, when you were finally able to chat with us. So
I love that song so much.
it is a fun song. It really is.
It was written in a stream of consciousness. I just picked up a pen and started writing all the shit that came to my head, and that is what happened. Like, that song is it.
That song's a fun song, as absolutely fucking chaotic as it is.
I think my favorite part, as far as like the production of it goes, is that we did sorry, we did the song. I put down the one track of vocals, and then the parts where you like hear that, like the harmony, the cards puzzle, spin the bottle. That's me and the drummer both doing a one take into one microphone and just harmonizing with me on that. And it sounds so good.
It honestly, it really
like
does.
like
Yeah, it's a really cool moment too. Honestly, it really is. I do want to touch on. There was one song that it feels like could have ended in two different ways, and that was the last two tracks of the album. Like, That's All, Folks, and then the one before it feels like it's the same song idea, but different directions for it.
Yeah, so another person who used to be in the band wrote the lyrics to Knots, and that we had a couple moments like this, and I want to work with him again on some other like stuff that he's written, because he'll write stuff, bring it to me, and I will be like immediately like, I know how to play this and sing this. And so we did that. We did that with Knots, and I wrote That's All, and both were kind of similar in function, or like theme, but I think That's All was a little more direct about like, nah, this is a giant fuck you to some people.
Yeah, like for me, like kind of what I got from Knots versus That's All was like, Knots was like, oh yeah, I'm just kind of resigning and accepting the fate that I am just fucking not him anymore. I am stuck on what you say is what I'm doing. And That's All, Folks, is like, go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And it was like the perfect, like, I really enjoyed that. and actually getting to properly hear the lyrics for Shoestring Stress this time, because you had played it for me on your stream before the album dropped, but I didn't quite understand the lyrics when it was playing. So getting to hear that better, that song has become my favorite song off the album.
Damn. All right. Yeah.
It was a really fun song to me. And the way that the directional audio and even some of like the layering was done and just the lyrics in general, I really enjoyed it.
For me it's the bass line.
The bass line was nice, I will say that much.
If I ever pick up a bass, I end up like trying to play it because I didn't ever practice it. It wasn't my part.
Yeah. But... No, that's fair. Oh, hey, Rebel's here now, too, and there's just a bunch of chaos that I've been ignoring in the chat because Potato and Roy are fighting. Hello, Roy. Friends! Potato and Roy and Rise are all arguing about League.
I love it. Hey, Rise, I'll hold on.
Rise, Rebel Girl is my girlfriend. Oh, it's a base.
So this is my Warlock base. It is so big. Like, even for me, big. Like, legitimately to stretch your arm out here to get to a note is not it.
Honestly, it's either this or I miss part of the screen because of webcam cable. So I just put it here. It's easier for me. It's the whole reason it's down there, Roy. Rise, I mean.
But Rise is making a guitar, like wants to make a bass, and he wants to make it Warlock inspired. And I was like, oh, I have one. And he's like, no, proof. And I've put off doing that. But
so now you have a Warlock bass. Yeah. So Bun says shoestring stress lyrics make her sad. Him sad. Sorry, I'm fucking brain. Sorry. But for me, the song that makes me sad is Knots. Knots made me sad.
Yeah, I feel that. Knots gives me very like Sublime vibes.
I was trying to think of the intro to Knots. The way that it was done made me think of a song I used to listen to, and I couldn't place who it was that I was thinking of. That's who it was. It was fucking Sublime.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Vesper.
I was like, ooh. It's what is it? Oh, the one of the other parts. I think the chorus. I'm trying to just remember, but like one of the other parts is like, I took the chords in a slightly different direction, but if it's like I went one more note down, but if I had gone just like if I had done it a certain way, it was like one note away from being Glycerin, if you've heard of that song.
I'm
like
familiar with that song, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Glycerin.
So like, yeah, so every now and again, well, like when we practice, I'll like get to that part and be like, don't let the days go by. Just jam into it.
Fair enough. See, Knots makes me think of like depression, because yeah, you tie me in knots, I just kind of have no power over doing what I'm doing anymore. What you say is what I'ma do. Like, it feels very much like I took it in the direction of like a relationship, and then like That's All Folks is the angry other version of it.
Yeah.
I did not take it in terms of media like Bun did. Like, fuck the media. Like
yeah. In my estimation, a lot of it, if you look at it as fuck the media, it fits that. And I think that was what it was kind of meant to be, but also the relationship aspect of that. I have I've heard that a few times, and I'm like, yeah, I get it for sure. And it is either way, it is like, damn, That's that sucks.
The only song off the album that I didn't do a blind react to, because it was the only one I had listened to before the album dropped, was Dirty Beach. And I didn't
Yeah.
even talk about that like the entire way through the blind reacts, other than I've already heard the song. Cool. So like, I genuinely want to know what the thought process with that song was, though.
With Dirty Beach.
Yes.
Uh, so big like anti-capitalism,
Yeah.
consumerism. Um, the the second verse is supposed to be from the perspective of uh the people that I'm talking about. So like, dude, it's just a loan. It's just a credit card. Like, what? It's like free money doesn't come along every day, dude. Come on, just take it. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all the very like predatory practices of people in like banks and all that kind of stuff, where they know they're gonna hurt you, and they're telling you like, hurry up and get to the dotted line and just sign it. Don't read the terms of the contracts. Who cares? Like, it won't matter. And then at the end of it being like, don't come to me for sympathy. You should have been smarter. You should have read the terms. You should have, like, doubling back on like, now that you've rushed through it and I've gotten you, I don't care anymore that you're hurt. I don't care that you're screwed and like you're about to be, I don't know, put out however many ways you are. I've already trapped you. It doesn't matter. And now I'm going to call you dumb for falling for it.
Oh, exactly.
And that
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, it really does. It's why I'm thankful I don't have established credit and can't be trapped in loans currently.
Yeah, just listening or talking to anybody who has a loan is like, man, this is the worst. Like, it's student loans and stuff like that. All that kind of debt. Like, I have debt, and it's like, God, dude, like, can't you see maybe that I have no capability of taking care of this in the state that I'm in because of all of this stuff? Why are we here?
Oh,
And they're
exactly,
like, oh, because you owe me money, and that's all I'm going to think about, and that's what I'm going to ask you for. And there's no consideration to anything except for what they want out of you.
yeah. No, that does actually track, because you are very much like Punk as a band. Like, it's like Punk if it briefly decided to have a love child with metalcore.
Yeah.
And honestly, I do enjoy the sound quite a bit. So that's, props for me, I guess. I don't know.
No, I'm glad I'm talking to somebody who enjoys it. Although,
Yeah.
if I found somebody who hated it, I think I'd have an interesting conversation with them as well.
Yeah, honestly,
Like-
it would be interesting. Yeah.
They're like, wow, that was trash. Like, what do you mean?
What was so bad about it, sir?
Tell me more.
No, exactly.
You sound like you didn't go to music school. And it's like, I didn't go to music school. I don't know much about music theory. I know the name of the most basic chords, and that I play in, that I play half step down in tuning. So instead of like E being the lowest note, it's like D sharp.
Yeah. Understandable. Yeah, I mean, I know the time signature most new metal is written in. That's a thing. Like, that's about the extent of my music theory knowledge at this point.
we met up with a guy who our drummer was taking a break, so we were trying to like find somebody to fill in. And we met up with this guy who's like so, who's like, y'all know like music theory? And we're like, And then he's like, what about like, he said something else, and we were like, no, I don't. And he's like, how do you write songs? And I was like, from the inside, I feel like this makes sense and is correct and is enjoyable to listen to in this order. Or I go, haha, this, like, playing this note this way kind of is funny. Like,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
and that's pretty much what makes me end up with songs, is because I go, well, that looks like a cool pattern.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no. Bun's like, I didn't go to music school. That's why I play punk music. I feel that,
Was,
Bun.
but it was very interesting to have the other two guys who know so much music theory, and actually do have that, like, that wealth of knowledge for all of that stuff, and me present an idea to them and then be like, oh yeah, that's like this and this, and then it, like, evolves the idea that I had into something way cooler. um and or, like, if there was something that was like a little wonky, made it make sense, and I was like, oh cool, this is very nice.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I noticed there was like some points where I think you intentionally played with dissonance in some of the songs. And like
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the dissonance just cuz it's like, "Oh, you don't expect to hear that. Now it sounds wrong." But it isn't. It's using that you were expecting this to fuck with your head.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Also, because it's something I like to ask a lot for when I interview musicians, is there a standard way you guys write your songs, or does it just kind of happen? Like, do you typically write like instrumental first, lyrics first, a bit of both at the same time?
So I have, um what really ends up happening is I have, like, momentary bursts of inspiration to write, and I will, like, really just, like, the 9 songs that I wrote of the 10 songs on the album, um all of that I think I wrote within, like, a couple of months. uh and in practice, we would just, like, I would practice at home, or and maybe, like, find an idea and then I would record it on my phone, or we would just be, like, standing around and just, like, one of us would start playing something, and then we just kind of build, and then I'd be like, oh shit, record, like, do not forget. um and whatever we wrote musically, I was like, I think I can make these lyrics fit this. um and that's how everything kind of came into being.
Actually, that's really interesting because most bands I've talked to, anybody from, it's like, yeah, we start with like a drum line and go from there. Or the occasional ones like we start with vocals and figure it the fuck out.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
I'm
listening to you, like, it just kind of happens accidentally is interesting to me.
It really does. That's all it is. It's just like, yep, and we're here, and this is
Yeah.
and this, I think, yeah, I think this one will work.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I really, until we, like, after all of that, until we started, like, getting most of the way through recording the tracks, I had no desire to write anything. And then once it started to feel more final, like, okay, this is the last time we're gonna have to do this, I felt it suddenly felt like I was allowed to write.
That actually does kind of make sense. It's like, I talked with somebody recently, and they said one of the biggest struggles that they have when it comes to writing music is imposter syndrome. And it kind of feels like that's kind of what you're going through with that. Like, you don't feel like you can write until it's almost done, and it's like writing.
Yeah, and then I wrote, like, 20 more songs.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds
Put
about right.
I put so much pen to paper. We have ads.
Oh, fun.
Should we
Yeah.
wait for ads?
Um, Yeah, we can. Yeah. Vesper says you're the best doom metal band, so that's fun.
Doom metal. The best doom metal band is Wanton Destruction,
I
which
knew
is
that
not
was
real.
coming. I knew that. I knew you were gonna say that because you've talked about wanting to start a doom metal band called Wanton Destruction, and
But
it's great.
I just want Wanton Destruction to be real.
I mean, I'm supposed to at some point release an entire album under the band name Candy Cane Shanks. So,
Yeah.
like,
I, there's a silly band called The Longest Johns.
why does that like not even surprise me? All right, so it's saying here on my end ads start in 27 minutes.
Yeah, so the ads are over.
Cool.
I have it pulled up on my phone off to the side because I
All right, yeah.
want to see the chat too.
Yeah, I have my chat in front of me, but that's all I see right now.
I don't have ads. Well, you're a cutie patootie. That's why.
Well, Bun, you're special. Twitch knows better.
Yeah. Twitch knows.
Oh, Rebel has ads. Rest in peace.
Wow.
Twitch does not know better.
She can't hear it. That's so funny.
Um,
No, as far as it goes, yeah, I'm filled to the brim apparently with imposter syndrome. I have I have so many moments where I go to do something and this sudden like insane worry happens, or like I don't know, this whole thing of like, if I start to do this while I'm only maybe learning it, or if I start to do this then I'll start to see all the things I don't know and everything will unravel and it will all fail. So there's no point. Don't.
That does happen, sadly. I get that. Like, that's me with like everything I do. It's like I don't know everything about this. Yeah, the song that you sent me, I'd kick a hole in your I'll kick a hole in your fence.
Kicked a hole in your fence and then you patched it and I did it again.
Like, that's just,
that to me is so you coded.
that really is. That's the problem. That is so me as a person. It's great. No, that's like, just I'd kick a hole in their fence. Yeah, that sounds about right, bud. No, the craziest. Oh, hey, look, Fear's alive. He's a person. You can do things. I'm impressed.
Alive.
Welcome to life. How sober are you currently? Did you drink last night? Do I need to come up there with a bottle of water and, I don't know, 13 stibbity stabbities? Fucking, I'm not gonna bite you. I don't bite people anymore.
That's disappointing. Wow.
That just went very far south there. You're sober? Okay, good. I don't need to bring the stibbity stabbities. So,
Fair.
back. Rebel, I don't bite people anymore. You're the one who bites me. Get that right.
I almost got bitten a QT today. Apparently, standing too still can lead to the urge to just get bit. Apparently.
I mean, if it was Bun, that does track for Bun's ADHD ass. So.
You have to work today. Nice.
I feel bad for you, Fear. I don't have to work.
I have a show to go play.
Yeah, that's why it's so early in the day. Originally, I was going to do it this evening, and he's like, I have a show today,
Yeah.
earlier? I was like, sure.
So, I'll tell you what, I spend all of my, all of the days where there's a show, I spend in serious anxiety and have like fun panic attacks,
Yeah.
and I sit around and I just think about all the things that could go wrong, and uh, the way that I finally will find an entire group of people that hates me and my music. Um, I'm so sure of it. This time is going to be the one, and uh, I try to like drink maybe some tea to get my voice right. Drink caffeine so I can anxiety harder, and then at after all of my shaking and existing that way, I get up on the stage and I am fine.
Yeah, sounds about right. And you know, we talked about it before when I reached out and just randomly um, asked for no reason about your warm up routine for vocals. You're like, I just drink a lot of hot tea. That kind of solves the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. Um, it's funny because like soda helps me. I don't know why.
I think it's probably the fizz. If I had to wager a guess.
Maybe, but in a lot of instances where I'm like not quite getting where I want with notes and stuff, if I drink like some soda, it just like leaves this weird coat in my throat, and then I can do all kinds of like yelling and metal screams, and it just changes everything. uh Had a random thought that makes me laugh is that like um according to people I can sing very well, but I like who maybe haven't like heard the band and stuff, they'll like hear me sing something and be like, oh hey, you can sing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in a band, I better be able to sing. But also I don't sing like that to my music.
You know, the crazy part,
It's
and this is
so very
something
different.
just yeah. So Bean Boy came in, said sup asshole and sheep. So you've been upgraded. You're not an asshole anymore, sheep. You're special.
Damn.
What's up,
What up,
Bean Boy?
Beaners?
Um,
Caffeine and sugar, probably, yeah.
I don't know. The thing
A
is,
high
right?
fructose corn syrup.
Even like with the way you sing in the band, it's still like a good solid singing voice, and you carry the tune well. It doesn't sound like, you know, some of the older punk I used to listen to where like the singing voice just sounds like somebody saying things weirdly because they don't care.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, that is one thing that always like got me about some of those bands. And there's sometimes where that works well, like, or like the what was that? Whereas like it just sounds like you're reading like slam poetry, and
Yeah.
there's music behind it. That Bun helped me with a band name for that.
Wasn't
That
like
song.
the Misfits used to kind of do that somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it that song's like, I think I saw you in my sleep, like that. They're
Oh my
like that
gosh, yes,
whole
that song. Yes.
stuff like that. Me Without You, and
Mhm.
like that whole little genre, that little bit of time in like 2006 or 5
Yeah.
was wild, and the fact that it made a comeback is hysterical to me.
I mean, there's also, you know, the fact that there is an entire band that this exists, and I don't know why. They did a breakdown that before they went into the breakdown, they talk about porn addiction, like just for no reason. Just they're yelling, they're like talking about porn and then breakdown. Like what?
I
I beg your
I have an
finest
idea
pardon.
for I I need I this is why I want Wanton Destruction to exist. But I love the like hardcore like metal breakdowns that's like everything's about to stop, and then it's like Like they yell something, like not just the like growl, but like they say something and then the breakdown hits. And my idea for that is, uh, I
So
think
Bun said it's La Dispute.
a lot of spew. Yes. Bean juice, bitch. I know you meant. I know you meant celery, but just
No,
for
he
me,
actually meant
this thought it'd
fear.
be fun.
He meant fear.
Fear. Oh, fear. Sorry about your job. I think. Happy for your full vape. Bean
Oh,
juice.
oh, that's fun.
Post hardcore. Anyway, I have a song idea that me and someone else were workshopping, uh, and calling it uh, BFFR, for like B for fucking real, um, but have it be a song against like the genocide that's going on, the main one, those genocides that are going on, but the
Yeah, there's
main
like
one that's big in the news.
4 of them going on
Um,
right now. It's crazy.
I I really just want to be like, I can't believe we gotta write a song about genocide and like have it break right there.
Oh, that would actually go fucking hard as shit. Real talk.
Hey, I'm saying,
Like I would listen to that like 6 times in an hour. Like let's be honest.
I'm yeah, I'm very pumped for that. I'm a little bit sad I missed. I I always kind of miss the boat because I want things to be perfect before I post them, and so I miss some stuff. Uh,
Did this?
I'll
So
wait until there's more viewers so I can say it again.
yeah, we're back, guys. We're fixed.
Yay, we back, Vesper back.
Oh, because I didn't see it earlier. Thank you, Potato and Vesper, for the follows. That's a thing that happened. Whoa.
Nice.
Gotta love when everything just breaks. And also then trying to not want to rip my hair out. Woo! Yay for not having hydration available when somebody redeems hydrate. I'm not walking out of here. There's no fucking hydration available. I'm not walking down to the house to get a glass of water right now. Not in the middle of this. Not after I just blue screened. No, thank you. Woo! I hate everything. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to pull up the clock now.
The clock.
Because for 5 minutes of this interview, I can't swear anymore. 5 minutes, no swearing. I want to die.
Swearing is so helpful.
Swearing is how I think. I think in obscenities.
I think in memes, personally.
Sounds about right, honestly, for you. Yeah. So he was on a rant about. No, actually, it doesn't go for sheep. It's just me that can't swear.
I'll try.
I'll try
to be. I'll try to play along.
He doesn't have to though.
Yeah. So where did we get cut off?
We got cut off like in the middle of the genocide rant. Like just in the middle of that, it just no.
Yeah, genocides, hardcore songs. Oh, okay. I remember where we were going. Where I was going with that, because I have an issue where I want things to be perfect, and I don't like post maybe like ideas or snippets of like what could be seriously usable now that I'm looking back on it. But at the time, I'm like, no, it's not right. And if I play it wrong, what if this and that? But I had written the beginnings of another song about all the bad shit that happened to rich people last year.
They deserved it.
From
Let's be real.
from from that submarine thing,
Mm-hmm.
to Burning Man, to whales attacking yachts and shit. Oh, so
Shit.
good. All of it's
Great.
so
Good.
the way
You know,
the way the Earth is like, yeah, look at this. This is the way rich people need to be treated. Please hurry. Like,
see, the crazy part about it is you can still write about all of that,
yes,
even now, because it will never not be hilarious. Just, oh yeah, so, you know, they tried to go down to a submarine using a PlayStation controller to control the submarine as they went down to the Titanic. Look at how that ended for them.
Oh, this was actually before you had come around to the channel. One of my first Twitch streams was, aside from League, clearly, was me playing Subnautica, and I titled it "Me versus 5 Billionaires."
Oh my gosh, that is perfect. That is the best. I love it.
I'll tell you what though, Subnautica is fucking hard. Why is it a hard game? I wouldn't have gotten in the boat because I'm not cut out for that.
That's fair. I mean, given one of Bean Boy's primary games that he streamed for a while was Subnautica, that was, you know, before he decided to stop streaming for a while, and now he's just doing all kinds of chaos. He's played entirely too much Subnautica, so the game is easy to him now. But
love that.
You know, I was looking at it and I was like, I want to fist fight whoever decided to make Subnautica, because I already have a fear of the ocean. Please don't do this to
I'd say it's horrifying.
Like, no thank you. I will pass.
Yeah. So a question I like to ask some people, and I think it's funny, all the reactions I get, is like, would you rather be like lost at sea for a day or buried alive for a day? And some people were like, those are my two least favorite things.
Honestly, you know, given the fact that buried alive for a day, right? So let's talk about this. Does that include something that will continue to produce oxygen for the full 24 hours?
Yeah, it's only for a day. You live.
Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Because depending on how much somebody breathes, and if they start panicking and hyperventilating, like, they could run out of oxygen really fast. So that's,
yeah, it's the same with like it's the same with like exposure to the sun in the middle of the ocean, and you know, no nothing to eat, nothing to drink.
Yeah.
Which you can technically survive. It's immediately
for 24
awful.
24 hours you can survive. It sucks, but you can survive.
But like exposure to the sun could take you right out, depending on how hot it is and all that. So there's definitely ways to die, but not in this scenario. You will live through it. You'll basically, except for your mind, you'll be unscathed in my hypothetical.
All right, cool. I can swear now. Fuck you, Bean Boy.
You just have to. You just have to think about being in the middle of the ocean, clear clear water with a blue hue for whatever stupid reason, and fish and sky and no land, or absolutely like zero vision, confined space.
See, I would
oxygen, but like,
I would sooner be the guy in the coffin buried alive for, 24 hours. But
yep.
I also, have two major things that influence that decision. First of all, I just sink the second I get in water. Like, I can't even tread water. I just sink. So if I even step off the boat enough that I'm not able to hold it, I'm dead. It's just over.
Maybe you have extra iron. Like some people have iron deficiencies. Maybe you have a surplus.
Maybe, who knows? Like, I can't swim, I just sink. That's the reality. Second of all, the ocean scares me. I'm not claustrophobic. Yeah. I wouldn't care as much being buried alive for 24 hours.
Yep, I agree. The ocean is a nightmare. It's undiscovered territory, but the shit we have discovered so far,
some of it is horrifying.
Gets more and more nightmarish. It's so bad.
You go far enough down, the lanternfish, like that thing is terrifying. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Bean's just calling us pussies. Fuck you, Bean. Go do your thing, Mr. Diver.
Yeah, it definitely would be a skill issue on my part with Subnautica. Maybe I chose a difficulty that was too high. But
I've never played it, so.
But if you showed me a submarine, and I, seeing that, was like, oh, how do you control it? And they're like, this,
just PlayStation.
We got this.
Yeah.
And we're like, no,
thank you.
No.
Yeah.
How much does it cost? $500,000? No.
No, I'm good.
No, I think I'm good.
I'm good. I won't go use a PlayStation controller to go deep under the ocean. No thanks.
I will play a video game that will make me control a thing with a good controller.
Yeah, no, because like they were literally using what was essentially a slightly modified PS1 controller. Like that's how.
Wasn't it like a Mad Catz thing one?
Yeah. It was like a very slightly modified PS1 controller. Like why?
Those come with at least one janky button that doesn't like press quite right.
Exactly.
So you better hope
like,
that button isn't the button you need for the game you're trying to play.
Exactly. Like I don't understand it. But no, so anyway, you could write that song at any time. That would be great. Yeah. You had said you wanted to wait until there was more people in the chat to say the thing that they missed, so just go ahead and get it over with, I guess.
Oh yeah, the reason Rise earlier said that this angle is not it for you is because it's the angle from which I would look up from blowing you. And if nobody else sees that, well, I guess I'm just like, thinking my own fantasies over here.
I understand, Sheep. I am semi-attractive. But I already have 2 people for that. I'm sorry.
Unreal. This interview is over.
So, given that I have said this to so many people at this point in my life, you bullied me into therapy. I've said this to so many people already. I mentioned it in the last 3 reactions that you bullied me into therapy.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Just this man
the shit
bullied
you said
me.
was concerning, and I didn't have a good answer. So
you go talk to your therapist about that.
Yes.
Bullied me into therapy. It was great. It's just some of the shit that comes up in songs makes me feel like you have experience, and now you've also bullied me into therapy. Have you lived with mental health?
Have I lived with mental health? That's an interesting way to express a question.
Yeah, like are you mentally ill as fuck? Like that's essentially what I'm asking.
I have severe ADHD. I have depression. I have anxiety. I am very late diagnosed. It's only been like 3 years from the point when from getting diagnosed. So a big chunk of my life I spent going, what is wrong with me? I can just fix this. Things would get better and like start being cool, and I'd go like on the up, and then there would just be a day where stuff would be suddenly like very wrong and very frustrating, and I would burn so many bridges to friendships and jobs and any whatever, and basically just rebuild life all over again. And um, so I was doing that again. Uh, this time my depression and anxiety were like the most severe they had ever been in 2020. Um,
The year
I
everything
and
went to shit.
2021, I ended up like in 2 different weeks. I like time periods of about a week. I had um like l- laid in my bed almost unmoving, sleeping like 16, 18 hours, only getting up for like absolutely necessary bathroom trips and like a snack. And um usually watching like horror shit or nothing. And if I wasn't in one of those modes where I was listening to that, I was having an active panic attack. And I lost two different I lost the jobs that I had at both of those times. Because I couldn't communicate with like anyone. Uh and then when things were going back up on the upswing, um Bunny and I hung out and we were starting to get to know each other and stuff. And then I make some comment and I get the reply of fucking with your ADHD ass. And I was like, oh, my hands, I, I end up like this, little like dino hands. They just fall over and I just keep them. And so I get that comment and I'm like, what do you mean ADHD? Hold on. And so I started looking it up, and so much of my life made like way more sense. And I like it just had never occurred to me that that was a thing that was wrong with me. And so uh, I advocate very heavily for picking on people to get something when
Yeah.
when you see the signs like uh
Buns just, haha, I changed your life, loser.
in so many ways you did.
Yeah.
That's
Fucking
gay.
bun. Perfect.
And yes, the Bun said, I like to think that this album kind of shows that journey of trying to deal with what the fuck is wrong with me and what the fuck is wrong with the world around me. Yes.
Yeah, I did
Um,
kind of sense that as like an overarching theme throughout the album too. So no, that does track.
yeah, this was
I
that
mean,
was me writing about coming out of religion and um shut up. Bun said the closet. Um and like watching my whole world view. I think I sum it up a little bit like I don't the more I know I don't know. And um the the thing I do miss the most about being a religious person is that everything has this like it all totally makes sense. Everything is working in a direction for whatever thing. It's all gonna work out. Everything is fine, and like it, this all has a purpose, and like it, it things can certainly have a purpose. But as far as like a giant cosmic one where I have to either be sad and uh remorseful for who I am while suppressing it and uh never being able to express it because it's wrong. I don't
see,
know.
I do understand that completely. You know, like I'm one of the few people that like I am religious. I use air quotes very heavily, because
Right.
I don't technically really follow any specific religious teaching, but I
Right.
have a belief, and I also treat people like fucking people. It's a
Yeah.
novel idea. People need to fucking
I,
try that sometime.
yeah. I was having a conversation with someone, and they said something about like good or evil, and I was like, I don't think I run by the standard of good and evil. Though I do think there are things that are both, like one or the other. But
Mhm.
in a very general sense, it's helpful or hurtful.
Yeah, I look
This
at
is
things of intentions, right?
yeah,
One of the things that you hear all the time in modern media is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I hear that all the friggin' time. And the
yeah,
reality of it is it's not about what is done, it's about what you were trying to do with what was done. Because things can go so far astray so fast.
yeah. I think part of that falls into um the the idea of like okay, so people like okay, the the figuring out something that you did was wrong, and then like it doesn't matter what you meant to do. It can, sure, but it matters to the person or people that like that are affected that you did it, like regardless of the intention. So it's like, well, I didn't mean to like hurt your feelings. It's like, okay, well, let's flip that. Hey, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I that's not
Yeah.
that's not me. I'm gonna fix that whatever thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely,
Um,
yeah. Bun,
go
this
go.
will have a VOD, and I will be uploading this in the two separate parts in one to YouTube later as well.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Lit.
Yeah.
Almost falling asleep because long day. I feel that.
Bean, I didn't want to person this morning, and yet here I am.
I wake up so early on the weekends when I'm off work. I do not know why.
It kind of happens. I don't know. I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning, and I just didn't want to person, so I laid there until 11.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as the album goes, like a lot of that is like me getting out of this religion, me walking into like finding out more about like mental health and mine. Um
That you then
uh,
bullied me into getting help with.
uh
For me.
yes, the relationships that I was in at the time, and just like the overarching like philosophy of my life, and how the world just has like so many aspects of like not the world but like the country that I'm in fucking suck. Why do they suck? I spent so much time in life like playing video games and reading, because in most instances with both of those things, the world and the rules and the consequences were consistent with what I was told. If I do the thing, then this thing will happen. If I make this other choice, this other thing will happen. And that will always be the case. But we live in a world, ew, it's society even, that is like, hey, so you need to be good and not lie. And you need to make sure that you treat people with respect, because people are going to treat you with respect. And be creative and be who you are. But we're going to lie to you. We're going to tell you that your creativity is wrong and that you're not being like the rest of us. Uh, and we're going to take advantage of you and your honesty, instead of being helpful or engaged with how we told you to treat us, and told you that people will respond in kind. But that is subjective and awful that it's so not the case. Just sitting there being lied to about things that are correct to do when other people are doing it, but they just go, what if I didn't though?
Yeah, no, like And the reality of it is, right, like, you know, this is just the truth. There's an entire job that the entire description is just lie through your fucking teeth, and that is politician.
Yeah. Yep.
They just get paid to lie all the time.
Lie. Say what people want to hear. I think lawyer is a close second, but instead of like just lying, they're like, let me repaint this picture
Yeah, like
from a perspective that no one has. I'm big on I love Bad Religion a lot. Um
yeah.
and Stranger Than Fiction is such a great song and movie, by the way. Will Ferrell actually did a great job. Uh but what was it? It one of the parts of the song is it's like I'm trying to think of the lyrics, but there it
When I hear Stranger Than Fiction,
it's the worst. Like Life is the worst book I've ever read. There isn't a hook, just a lot of cheap shots, and characters an amateur would never dream up.
yeah, like when I hear Stranger Than Fiction, my brain just every time goes to the Five Finger Death Punch Stranger Than Fiction. Like it just doesn't even try to process anything else. So it's just like,
Do you bean juice?
bye, bean bitch.
I haven't heard that one actually.
Yeah, no, like it starts off with like Stranger Than Fiction, how you've decayed. It must be so lonely, lost within your ways. And then like the whole thing, like the very first verse is like, you're born alone, you die alone, the rest is yours to bridge the gap. Like that's the song itself is just like, fuck everyone and everything. Figure out what you want to do for yourself.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, like that's like the whole thing that gets stuck in my head every time I hear Stranger Than Fiction, and I just haven't figured out why nothing else will occur to me.
Well, if you watch Stranger Than Fiction, great book or great movie.
Yeah.
Actually, really cool. Will Ferrell's a character in a book, and he begins to like. Or he's a character that that an author is writing, and in the short of it has like a conversation reasoning with the author, and it just really cool stuff.
Oh yeah,
like
for
what
sure.
a cool thought.
That is actually a really cool concept and idea. And for those of you who don't know, Sheep is a big proponent for the anime Steins Gate.
Yeah,
he tells everybody to watch it.
Objectively, the best anime.
I watched the first episode, was like, what the fuck did I just watch? And then it got taken off of Hulu 2 days later.
No!
So I can no longer watch it without finding a site.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I was about to say. Just have to find a site without viruses.
Basically, yeah. No, he's like, everybody watch Steins Gate. Like this is. Nope.
It says you went offline.
Oh, fun. So it's just having issues again because apparently my live is still going according to my PC. Oh, wait. A few seconds ago, stream is disconnected, attempting to reconnect. That's a thing. That's fun. Restore this stuff. I don't know. My bitrate has been absolutely chaotic lately, and I don't understand it. Alright, come on. Come on, don't fight with me. So, according now to my PC, 26% dropped frames over 2 minutes. But it's still saying I'm not live anymore. Hello? Oh, and we're up again with unstable bitrate still. I don't know what's going on anymore because my internet's been fine. Like, it's not... My PC is just having a fit. we are apparently live again, so
Okay.
that's
We love that for us.
yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be now 3 parts just crammed into one video later.
I mean, we have been yapping for like an hour.
We have, yes. So I have a feeling that like everyone that's been watching has just gone and fucked off for the most part, because it's been like dead silent in chat outside of, you know, Bun talking sometimes. And you know, when Bun was talking,
well, let me go on my rant
well,
anyway.
Yeah, go for it.
Objectively, best anime, full stop, Steins Gate. Best world building, English dub, the best love story, best friendship story, best like mental health story.
There's just a lot to Steins Gate. Like it's got like 72 layers. I swear, it's worse than an onion.
And it doesn't require 9,000 episodes for you to watch. It's 28. Not... It's concise. There's a movie after that, and then there's like a season 2, which is weird and
it's
makes you want to yell at the main character at the start, and then it gets very interesting very fast.
Yeah. So essentially, it's not like One Piece where it's just going forever and it takes a million years to get good.
And I'll tell you what, no one that I know, including me, has guessed how the story goes. They don't know what's going to happen, and they don't know how it's going to resolve. And I am so happy with that, because so much media, and like especially with anime, like many animes have tells to them. You see the pattern. This guy has been talking for a while. He is going to die. You know, things like that, where it's like this one before something happens.
Yeah, this one it plays with those expectations completely. Like Steins Gate just fucks with your head in every way possible, and it's great. I was told essentially like the way to make the most sense of Steins Gate season 1 is watch the first season and then go back and watch the first 2 episodes again.
Yes. 110%. You'll see it, and it's wild. But I have watched that all the way through at least 7 times in the past 4 years.
Fair enough. So, we got music discussion in, we got some mental health discussion about, you know, the fact that Sheep bullied me into getting therapy, and why he was able to bully me into getting therapy. We've talked some about anime. Before we go out, let's end with a little more music discussion. What's some of the band's favorite bands? Like everybody's what's some of your favorite bands?
So, I'm not sure who our drummer's favorite band is. Actually, I don't know who anybody's favorite band is. I know that like,
so bands that you guys bring up a lot.
Our bassist loves like dad rock, like 80s glam. Like a lot of those guitarists and stuff were big inspirations. A lot of EDM and stuff like They Might Be Giants. Just like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Oh my gosh. I keep forgetting that band actually exists until people bring it up, because the name is just so fucking bizarre.
So like those are a lot of the avenues that he goes down. For me, a lot of, like I said, Bad Religion. There's an old band, like an old local band that got pretty screwed at one point and never made a recovery. called Schmunks for You. They have 2 albums, and I don't listen to them anymore, but the way it influenced me when I did was big. Um, System of a Down is the only band that I have and will listen to their entire discography with no skips. I don't think they missed once. Uh,
Honestly, that's fair.
there's yeah, a lot of I like Haste the Day a lot, but I only
Oh,
like their
nobody
first one of
really
their
talks
first
about Haste
albums.
the Day.
Yeah, I only like that one album, Burning Bridges.
Mm-hmm. That's like
Uh,
the best album they dropped, in my opinion.
yes, it ruined me for the rest of their music. I think that their tracks are kind of okay. That Burning Bridges was bar none the best they've done.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
uh, Probably a million more bands. I don't know. I On the note of on the circling back to imposter syndrome, I I
Fair enough.
I I had a thought that was like, what if I listed off bands that I was influenced by and they hate my music? They're embarrassed to be listed as people who influenced me. I, I hate that thought so much.
That is a terrifying thought, honestly. It really is. No, but like, that's I always like learning what bands like to listen to. Like, I recently learned from interviewing the vocalist of Citizen Soldier that they listen to all kinds of absolutely fucking chaotic shit. Like one of them's like, I love Taylor Swift. Like what? You make rock music about mental health and you love Taylor Swift. Cool. I guess. I don't know how to feel about that. Like that confuses me. That confuses the shit out of me. But like stuff like that, like it's always really interesting. Like, Alter Bridge being a big influence on some people. Hells yeah.
I'm It's interesting what I love to listen to that I think will never influence how I play or whatever, but I love listening to it. Like um Saint Motel comes to mind. They have several songs that I love. And like I love a ton of EDM artists like LS Dream and uh Essex and oh my god, I blank because there's so many names. uh Versive, King Sullivan,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dirty Phonics, stuff like that. But I have no clue how to put together and produce a song like that. But I just enjoy it. So
No, fair enough. I mean, if you look back at like early 2000s metalcore, a lot of it just featured random EDM breaks. So like
yeah.
but there's a lot of really cool stuff out there. So, with that being said, I do want to ask anybody in chat have any questions for Sheep. Currently, it's Rebel. If you have any questions you would like to ask Sheep about his music, about him as a person, anything that he's willing to answer. And at any point, you are welcome to tell me to go shut the fuck up. If you don't want to answer a question, I do not care.
There's very, very little I shy away from answering outside of like, what's your social security number? Yeah.
Well, of course, like you wouldn't just answer those questions.
But just for you, it's 1 1 1 1 1 1.
Just a bunch of ones, yeah.
Yeah, one.
Oh, what just happened? One of our connections is dying. I don't know which one. We're just gonna.
I'm just connected to my router.
We good? You still dying over there, sheep?
It's not me.
Oh, it's me. That's fun.
Does it hear us?
You're like weirdly glitching on my end because my PC's just fucking dying apparently. So that's fun. Oh.
What are you gonna be for Halloween?
Alright, cool. It's no longer dying. I think.
Nice.
What am I gonna
What do you
want
to be for Halloween?
I don't do Halloween anymore, really.
I told Bun that I'm gonna be the man that ruined my life.
Yourself? Last time I dressed up for Halloween, I dressed up as the average fucking concert goer at a metal show. It's the reality of the last thing I ever dressed up as for Halloween, just average metal concert goer.
I used to like rip up a lot of old clothes and go as a homeless guy.
Yeah. So apparently I'm gonna be Scary Dog because I'm going with her and Ulrich for Halloween.
Nice.
Which means I'm just gonna stand around looking very angry a lot. I'm gonna be Scary Dog privilege, yeah. I'm gonna be the thing that I give you. Scary Dog privilege.
Privilege.
Anyways, so I had asked Rebel if you had any questions you had for Sheep before we end the interview. Part fucking 76, apparently. You do have questions for Sheep.
Or anyone in the chat, but mostly because it's Rebel.
Mostly just saying Rebel because Rebel's the only one talking. You do have questions. Okay, ask away. He reserves the right to tell you to shut up.
I like powerlifting, long walks on the beach.
Stealing my girl.
I like
bullying me in therapy.
I like dropping acid and watching League of Legends Worlds.
And now it's blank. I hate being on the spot. That's fun.
My best bench press was 345.
What's the fastest mile you've ever run?
It was like it was like 8 something.
Fair enough.
Somewhere around 8.5 minutes.
Fair enough.
Which is incredible because the first mile I ever tried to run when I was first like introduced to that idea was like 15 minutes. I did not run.
Yeah. My first mile that I ran ever was, I was incredibly out of shape.
Yeah.
And it took me 25 minutes to run. Because I kept dying. So Rebel says, do you have any songs in the works that we could look forward to?
Yeah, I have a song about the relief of death. The sweet release of nothing.
So the
being
huh? The emo treatment. Got it.
Yeah, well, but it's, I don't know. I think it's fun.
Oh no, don't get me wrong.
I wrote that one. I wrote that while I was working. I was in training to work at a call center taking death calls for what are they called? The places that do that.
Like the morgue calls, or like a mortuary, or no, not a mortuary. A funeral home.
Funeral homes, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Like a whole slew of funeral homes. I was taking calls from like nurses and cops and just random people, and had to take all this information in of people dying and like setting up appointments for them to meet with funeral home directors.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And so I was like, yeah, well, ain't gotta pay bills. And that turned into a song.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's fun.
uh, I'm mad because I lost a few sets of lyrics. I remember the title and nothing else about some songs. Like I had a song titled "You Ain't Deep Sheep,"
That's
and it was
that's great considering you've
yeah.
had more than one song you've released. Absolutely throw me for a loop. Like Raul Julia's ill-advised sushi dinner.
Yeah,
Like that one, I was not guessing what that song was about. Like it just
I love
threw
that
me
song.
for a fucking loop. It was great. It's a lot of fun.
Well, do you know who Raul Julia is?
He wasn't he the guy that played Gomez Adams.
Yes.
Yes.
And he also played M. Bison in Street Fighter, the Street Fighter movie.
I forgot entirely about the Street Fighter movie. I intentionally trauma blocked that out of my brain.
Well, there's always one line to keep, which is, like, one of the characters was like, "You devastated my village. You blah 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 blah." And you don't remember who I am?
It was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that line.
He
That's
wanted,
it.
He wanted, he wanted sushi, so he went to a bodega, and it made him violently ill.
Yeah, and the song,
like
the
he
song
had to
is
get
titled
sent
that.
home. He got sent home to America.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you titled the song Raul Julia's ill-advised sushi dinner, and it has nothing to do with that experience at all. It is entirely about, I think it was what you said. It was like about, oh, well, everybody else has already figured this thing out, but nobody wants to tell me this thing that they've all figured out, and they're just letting me flounder and figure it out on my own.
yes,
Like that's
what the song is about. Of
about.
Knowledge and experience for me to build upon our life, like a life as it's happening. And they go, nah. I'm like, why do this? Why is this? And they're like, that's disrespectful. Don't talk to me like that. And I'm like, fuck you, bro. Why is knowledge locked behind a paywall? Are you kidding? Do you want an intelligent society? It feels like you don't want an intelligent society. It feels like you want just to be able to work.
Yeah, like let's be honest. The reason that common sense isn't common anymore is shit like that. Just
yep,
that's the reality. Common sense isn't common because of that. Well,
and because of all the ways we're destroying ourselves by listening to the wisdom of Gerald Hitler loving fucking Ford about a 40-hour work week. And then they're like, oh man, production, like, let's go. And it turns from like, oh man, we got so many more man hours, and now we've got all these machines, so we can give people a break. No, not a break.
No, instead
not let them live their lives.
Yeah.
It's to produce more.
Yeah. Exactly.
Fuck
and
up.
like, the people that have to, sit around and like their whole job is to fix the machines when they break down, and those machines break down so friggin' often.
And so too the machine of America,
It really is. So with that,
it's held together with fucking paper clips, gum, tape,
some bumper stickers. Just, no, you
don't
understand.
Pick yourself up by your own bootstraps. That is levitating.
Yeah. There's
just levitating.
There's somebody I know that this is how they describe their car's condition. They're like, my car is held together by bumper stickers and prayer. That is the reality of their car too. Like, that's just
beautiful.
That's basically what's holding together America, except it's duct tape and spite.
Yeah. It's so easily fixable. And they're like, where will we get the budget for that? And it's like, you'll get it where you stop sending people to fucking war.
And you stop
all over
sending
the
money
fucking
to
world
everyone
and trying to
else.
send aid to a bunch of people who aren't us. I had a conversation with someone and I was like, I don't think billionaires should exist while homeless people do.
I agree completely.
Make it a rule. Make it a hard and fast rule. Millionaires, billionaires, the upper class, all of that. No, not allowed to exist while homeless people do.
Yeah, no, like, you know, even now, like, I'm all, like, irritated by this, too. Like, I saw this, and I was like, what is wrong with this, right? The aid being sent to the victims of the hurricanes that just hit Florida, right? So, no power, nothing. Go online, apply. You can get up to $750 for this if you go online and fill out an application. But then, we're sending millions to other countries? Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I beg you, make it make sense. I need it to.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, thank you to everyone who watched this absolutely chaotic, fragmented as fuck video. Thank you to Sheep for giving me his time to interview him. It was a lot of fun, honestly. It's always fun talking with you, especially when it gets chaotic as fuck like it did today.
Yeah.
Just so fun.
My favorite.
So much fun. So, with that being said, thank you to everyone who stopped in. Thank you again, Sheep, for the time for this interview. I look forward to seeing you guys all in the near future, maybe. Who knows? Maybe you'll stop into a stream. Maybe you'll stop into one of his streams. He's got a stream. He streams to YouTube and fucking Twitch both. I'll put his links in the description of this video if I remember. If not, then I'll just put it in the comment section when somebody reminds me that I said I was going to do that. that's the reality.
Which will let me know you're a real fan.
Like,
if you don't watch the end of this video, you're not going to hear me say this, but you're a fake fan.
So, once more, thank you all so very much, and I look forward to catching you guys again in the future. Thank you much, Sheep.